Good evening.
There's an English proverb that states, that goes like this, I'm sorry. The secret of love is seeking variety in your life together and never letting the routine chords dull the melody of your romance. Now that I'm married, occasionally, close friends and family will ask, how do you know when you found the one? Or your one true love? So tonight, I'll humbly make an attempt to answer that question by giving you what I feel are the greatest common factors of love. In doing so, I'll be very forthcoming about how my wife and I began our journey or our love walk together. Due to human nature, people are naturally guarded. There's a popular idiomatic expression, not letting your guard down. Not letting your guard down is, in simple terms, means protected, guarded, or unable to relax because you think a situation might become difficult or dangerous. Here's a simple test. If you can answer these questions, or all of them, with a simple yes, you may be guarding or protecting yourself from experiencing true love. Do you look for what's wrong with others, or try not to get close? Do you find it difficult to trust others? Do you sabotage good relationships? Do you find it difficult, or do you find it difficult to fall in love? If so, you may be guarding or protecting yourself from experiencing true love. I too was the same way until I met my wife and she gently pushed me out of my comfortable, emotional house that I had constructed with bars on the windows. An author of a blog I read recently wrote this: like the house with bars on the windows loses curb appeal, a person with their guard up appears emotionally unavailable. While bars guard our heart, they also obstruct our view of the world while blocking the loving sunshine that could pour light into the soul. Bars keep the bad out, but equally hinder the good. When a person has their guard up, they tend to live their life in fear or subscribe to living their life in chains. So my first point is this: learn to let your guard down. Secondly, while many of us in the room would agree that true love cannot exist without chemistry, it's our definition of chemistry that's rather limited to our physical responses to another. However, that definition lacks an entire dimension that resides in our values, beliefs, personalities, and worldview. Author Khalil Gibran defines it as spiritual affinity. It's that hidden element of chemistry. It's when two human beings connect on a deeper level. It can only be felt in the heart and soul. It's about friendship, respect, humor, and feelings of warmth and contentment that you feel when you're in his or her presence. Early in our friendship, my wife and I readily agreed that while neither of us found the physical attraction missing, it was that spiritual affinity through our common interest in books, music, spirituality, and our love for the outdoors that drew us even closer. So my second point is this: learn to develop a deeper appreciation and meaning of chemistry. Lastly, I'd like to tell you about a leap of faith that I took when I proposed to my wife. I still remember the day like it was yesterday. It was a beautiful day, spring day in May of 2007. And we were at one of our favorite city hangouts, the Botanical Gardens. So behind me you see some signs that were created not by me, with the help of some friends. And we had been to the Botanical Gardens before, and at this point she had really no reason to expect that this time would be any different. However, I did have something different up my sleeve. After a couple of hours of touring the many exhibits and the gardens, I told Rhonda that I had to go to the restroom. I told her to meet me along a winding path that we had previously passed earlier in the day. I knew that I wanted these 4 signs to be at the end of that path. I just didn't know how I wanted to present it to her. So I worked on this poem and I started scribbling out some notes, and this is what I came up with. I'm a part-time poet, so don't laugh at my words. I started off with some questions. The first question is, will you still love me even when I'm not right? And then you all can understand.
Absolutely.
Will you still laugh after time has passed and kiss me goodnight? Will you continue to seek him or God and be a beacon of light? Will you agree to not let the sun set before we've made nice? Will you be my reflection and resource for correction even when I've seemingly lost my sight? Will you remember our friendship when all is said and done with the throwing of rice? And lastly, will you continue to honor me through time as mine? ... So, here I am standing on my knee with the ring in my hand, my heart in my stomach. I don't know if she's going to say yes or no, because she's a pretty tough one. She eventually said yes. It seemed like an eternity, but I was sweating profusely too. But I got down on my knee, and the rest is history, as they say. However, I want to leave you with these points. I want you to remember the greatest common factors of love. 1, learn to let your guard down. 2, develop a deeper meaning of chemistry. And the last one is, take a leap of faith. Composer Stephen Schwartz says this about a leap of faith. It's time to close my eyes, trust my instincts, and leap. Thank you.
Wow. Very good.